Welcome, welcome. I am standing at a grave in Corpus Christi, Texas. And the man buried here, he helped build this city. His name was Benjamin Franklin Neal. He was born in Virginia. He arrived in Texas in 1838, when this place was still a frontier. He became a lawyer, a newspaper publisher, and he also served in the Texas legislature. He went to Arizona and came back a wealthy man. And in 1852, when Corpus Christi officially became a city, the people elected Benjamin Franklin Neal as their very first mayor. The first mayor ever. He was the most powerful man in this town. But that is not why I'm here. I'm here because of what he did with that power. When the Civil War broke out, Benjamin Neal did not just talk about supporting the Confederacy. He reached into his own pocket. He personally organized and personally financed an entire artillery company to defend Corpus Christi against the Union ships. Neal's Battery. That is what they called it. Attached to the 8th Texas Infantry Regiment. Saw action in both battles of Corpus Christi. He eventually reached the rank of major in the Confederate Army. Now, I need you to understand what that means. Historians are not divided on this. The Civil War was fought to preserve slavery. That is not an opinion. That is documented historical record. The first mayor of your city, the man this city celebrated, personally funded an army to fight for the preservation of slavery. Out of his own pocket. During the war, Neal was appointed judge of the 14th Judicial District, a Confederate soldier, now a judge, and in November of 1863, a 63-year-old woman named Chipita Rodriguez was brought before his court. If you have not seen that video, go watch it, because what happened to her is one of the most disturbing stories in Texas history. Here is what you need to know right now. The evidence was entirely circumstantial. The motive never existed. The gold was supposedly stolen, but it was also found at the scene, untouched. The jury found her guilty, but the jury recommended mercy. Judge Benjamin F. Neal looked at that recommendation and sentenced her to hang anyways. No gallows were built for her. An ox cart, a mesquite tree. Her neck did not snap. Her last words were, "No soy culpable." I am not guilty. Now, here is where the story gets even more interesting. After the Civil War ended, the federal military government looked at Judge Benjamin F. Neal and removed him from the bench. Removed by military order in 1865. He was restored to office, and then he was removed again by military order in 1867. The federal government removed this man from his judgeship twice. Twice. He died in Corpus Christi on July 18th of 1873. And in 1935, 62 years after his death, the city of Corpus Christi erected a granite monument right here in his honor. A monument dedicated by the city for a man the federal government removed from the bench twice. Now, let's look around, because this cemetery, the one where Benjamin Neal is buried, is one of the most remarkable and one of the most overlooked places in all of South Texas. Old Bayview Cemetery was one of the only cemeteries in the entire South that was never segregated. Not one section for white, not one section for black, and not one section for Mexican. Everyone who died in this city was buried here, regardless of your color, regardless of your race or your creed. That was extremely rare for this time and this place. Right here in this cemetery, a Texas mayor and legislator named John Marks Moore is buried only steps away from his slave, Sammy Moore, a slave owner buried next to his slave, equal in death on a hill in Corpus Christi. There is also a Buffalo soldier buried here, a man named George Owens, a Kentucky native who was sent to fight in the Civil War in place of his owner. He fought for the Union. He is buried in this ground. Confederate soldiers are buried here too. Union and Confederate, slave owner and slave, pioneer and buffalo soldier, Mexican and Anglo, all on the same hill. The ground that Benjamin Neal personally funded a war to keep divided. It refused to stay divided. He is celebrated as a founding father of this city. She does not even have a marked grave. Chipita Rodriguez is buried somewhere along that river that flooded and took her grave with it. Nobody knows exactly where she is. The man who ignored a jury's mercy and sent her to strangle on a mesquite tree is right here with a granite monument dedicated by the city of Corpus Christi. That's not an accident. That is how power writes history. And that is the curveball. Bizarre, beautiful, and oh so true. I'll see you guys in the shadows.